you feel that needs, and hopefully that you have already watched the pinned video that is in lesson 3 and the pinned video in the branding feedback room. I sure hope that you have watched both of those videos. I see a lot of hearts and I see a lot of fires in those videos. I am going to be judging you, and so is Save Your Sons, based off of what we talked about in those videos. So to know where we're coming from, you need to take a look at those branding videos. We don't just willy-nilly come up with these ideas or theories. These are time-tested strategies that we've used for thousands of clients, and we've gotten results for people, and so this is going to work for you. So we're going to get started. We're going to come into it. Save Your Sons, any thoughts before we begin today? Are you excited? How's your vacation going?
It's beautiful, man. Today's our last full day. We're heading back tomorrow, but I'm locked in and ready for this. I'm buckled up. I'm ready to. I see the shack in the paint, GIF. It's gonna be exactly like that, except there's two shacks. So I'm
Oh,
ready for this one. I've been looking forward to this one.
two shacks. Oh my God, what kind of team would that be? That'd be scary. That's a team that we got lined up today. All right, so let's get right into it. We are going to get started. I'm going to be leaving all of my notes in the lesson 4 room, and we're going to go into this. Okay, so wow, you guys are going to learn so much today. I hope you all are ready. So I'm putting this in the lesson 4. I got so many people that have messaged me. I will get to all of you. First one up. All right, it's Andrew Sai. I hope I'm saying your name right. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple comments right off of the bat. There is the first thing that jumped out to me is that you have a severe issue. There's a critical error with your page right now. The critical error is, and it's so far gone right now, Andrew. I'm sorry. I have to tell you that this is a rare opportunity for me to say you must restart your profile. And let me explain why. You are following 2,000 people and you have 300 followers. And if you didn't know this, Twitter's algorithm is geared to suppress accounts that do that. Okay. It labels you as a consumer account, not a creator. And it signals to other people and the algorithm that you're not really worth a follow. So you're not going to pick up followers very easy. It's going to be extremely difficult to grow this account because there's almost a 7 or 8 to 1 ratio over following to followers. If you take a look at all of the big top tier content creators, you need to be following a lot less than you follow. It has to be well deserved. Like, take a look at my ratio right here. It's 272 and that's a lot. I follow a lot of people. I actually consider myself following a lot of people. 272 is a lot of follows. Save Your Sons even has a better ratio than I do. He's 261 to 522. So you're right behind the 8 ball already, in a bad position to even put a profile together, because you need to start a new account. And if you joined in 2009 and you have 385 followers, you're kind of in deep doo-doo, because most of those people that are following you don't really exist anymore. So I'm going to move on to the next account. You need to get yourself started. And as far as like just real quick comments on the rest of it, because I know you're going to need to restart your account. I would say the profile picture is fine, except there's like this brick wall behind you. It looks like you took a selfie outside or something like that. The picture's fine. The banner's fine. But your bio is very, very vague for a guy who's co-founded a company, exploring what it takes to succeed in business and how those lessons can be applied to relationships. I don't know what any of that means. Anyway, Save Your Sons. Do you have any comments quickly for Andrew? He's, you want to talk about that ratio a bit at all?
Yeah, I agree 100% on the ratio. It's one of the first things people see, and it jumps out at people when they're. I mean, you got people. Remember, everybody, you've got people's attention. If they go to your profile, you've got them for like 2 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to look at a couple things. They're going to look at the profile picture, the banner, and that ratio is one of the first things they'll see. So you need to put yourself in a position where you're showing that you're worth following, and one of the best ways to do that is get that follower, the number of people you're following down. And then real quick on the bio, Andrew, the I really don't like that your first word is exploring
Oh yeah.
exploring what it takes. It's so wishy washy and tepid, and you're like half in, half out. Like I'm just kind of like exploring. I'm not really an authority. I'm not really saying any. I'm not taking a stance, and that's gonna turn people away too. So if you founded this company, I don't know what Spark Distro is, but you're a company founder, and you've got a lot to teach people, and everyone has stuff to teach people. And when I see people say like exploring what it takes, that makes me that just signals to me, this person's struggling with imposter syndrome, which we'll talk a lot over the course of this month. That imposter syndrome is a complete lie and it's fake, and you shouldn't think about it for even 2 seconds. But take a stand. Are you exploring what it takes to succeed in business, or are you showing everybody what it takes to succeed in business?
Yeah.
There's a big difference between those two.
I want to
And
move.
if you're showing people,
Go ahead.
teaching people, then that's going to create a lot better conversion rate for you.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you right there. I thought, apologies, that's on my fault right there. All right.
No, you're good.
I did not mean that. Okay. I want to go to the next account because there's just so much to get to. And we just gave you a lot of stuff to think about and work on. All right. Next. This reminds me of like when people are turning in their homework. You ever see the movie? What's that A Christmas Story, where they're all coming up to the bed and they're like turning in their homework, and he has that nightmare, like you'll shoot your eye out, and it's like that's kind of what's happening right here. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so like the first thing is just like same. There's so many things that need to be improved on. It's like, there's like 20 things I've looked at right here, and like I really hope you guys are seriously looking at the branding feedback rooms, because guys, if you're paying attention to what we teach, you would not make this many mistakes, straight up. Okay, first mistake is this right here. Again, this is another one with like only 161 people follow this account, or 67 follows, and he's been on the Twitter for 6 years. That means you've gained 20 followers per year. You're in big, deep doo-doo. The other thing that you have here is, again, that ratio. It's not good. I talked about locations. You don't put your location. You put a call to action. I mentioned this in the branding room. I don't see that improvement there. And here's the biggest thing. Like, look, there is so much blue text going on right here. This tells me you have no idea what you're doing with your page. And here's why. You have a link to this one thing, a link to another thing, and a link to a YouTube page. Like, you need to have one link. You need to have, and I talked about this in the last lesson, you need to decide what you're going to use your page as a funnel for. Okay. The more links you have, this is a copywriting rule. The more links you have, the less people click through links. This is a fact. And Twitter allows you to have one link, and you put it in your link spot, in that link spot that they have, and then you prime people for what they're going to get before they go in there. Okay. So for mine is a funnel for masterclass. My banner says join the community, link in bio. In my video yesterday, I said, I don't recommend you doing that, but my account is intentionally geared towards priming people for joining masterclass. Okay. When you have a longevity, productive health to thrive as a human, you got one link. Then a wellness director at another. Why do you even have that wellness director are you using your account to advertise for your employer? That's basic. It doesn't make any sense. And then the YouTube page, I don't know what that is. That doesn't look like a YouTube page link to me even. So yeah. Okay. So let's talk about links real quick. I'm not even going to talk about the rest of this profile. This is an account that puts all of our things into practice, and he grows very quickly. This is Cost of Glory. I mentioned him in the video, right? If you were paying attention. So he has one link. There is one thing that every single person needs to do as soon as this is over. You all need to secure a .com. You all need to secure a .com. Okay? I don't care if you just started your account. Every single one of you needs to secure a .com that is in your domain name. One of the biggest mistakes I ever made was not securing create247.com, which when I first looked for it, it was like a few $100s, and now it's worth like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. The thing is that you need to be in your link. You need a .com because more people are going to feel secure clicking through a .com. All right. So if you can secure a .com that's in your brand, you're going to convert a lot more link clicks. Now take a look at how Cost of Glory, his bio, I talk about how great it is in that lesson. Learn from your ancestors. He's priming you for what you are going to get before you click through that link. Okay? That's what that is for. Dickie Bush has startwritingonline.com. Right there. Just real simple, real beautiful right there. Okay? Now I just noticed he has some more blue text but that is somebody who is, he actually should get rid of some of that, but that is somebody who has multiple offers. So this is allowed. All right. So from your perspective, you need to understand what are you going to, you need to start a new account. Okay. And then number two, you need to start thinking about what you're going to use your Twitter page as a funnel for. Where do you want the traffic to go? Do you want it to nexthealth.com? Do you want it to MedSiri? Do you want it to whatever you want to use your page for? That's where you're going to have people go. All right. You have any comments? Save your sons?
Yeah, the whole point of building building a Twitter profile and building an online brand so that you can own traffic. That's the entire end game, which means that traffic is the most precious thing that you have. It's the most valuable thing that you have. It's the most precious thing, and how you choose to direct that traffic is everything. And so when you've got 3, 4, 5 links in your profile, you're diffusing that traffic, and you're confusing people. And even if you're not even getting like the same ratio of clicks that you would have if you had one link, because your people are overwhelmed and they're not clicking anything, who might have clicked if you just had one link. To focus that traffic, you'll think of a magnifying glass. The sunlight is the traffic, and the magnifying glass focuses that light into a point and sets something on fire. So where are you going to focus that traffic? And that's how you use links in your profile. And then start over. Start over. Same as Andrew. I mean, you guys on day one, we talked about when it's a good time to start fresh, how many followers, and what's my account creation date. You guys are squarely in the served starting a brand new account today and forgetting about these old accounts.
Yeah, and man, we haven't even talked about like the aspects of the first two accounts that I've got. We haven't even had a chance to go to some of our fundamentals, but I want to go to this next account right here. All right, this is Keith Ferrara. Now, I want everybody to pay attention to this. I like to play a game with accounts. When I go to their profile, I want to see three things. I look at your profile picture, your name, and your handle. And from there, I need to know exactly what you do. Okay? All right. If I go to your profile and I don't know what you do. So for instance, here is Dr. Brandon. He was in our last cohort. Here is Dr. Brandon Metabolism 2.0 at Dr. Brandon Petke. He looks like a doctor. Okay. So just by playing in this square right here, I know exactly what he's going to do. He's priming me before we even go to his profile. And this is really key. And it's going to give you a real heads up for, it's going to convert a lot more accounts to your profile because they're going to understand what you do. Like here's another one, Joel, Save Your Marriage at the Joel Lopez. That's good. Okay. So, first thing I want to say about Keith is, and here's Joshua Isaac, the ghostwriter, priming you before all of this is really important that you do this. And you're going to say why. It's about the curbside appeal of your account. And this is why I'm not a huge fan of having your name and your handle line up exactly. And if you take a close look at mine, The Art of Purpose at Creation 24/7, you can kind of get a vibe for what we're going to talk about even before you click there. Okay. And it puts you in a better position. It's the curbside appeal because that's what people are going to see when you make comments on the timeline. Again, everything is from the audience's journey. So if you're out there and you're, tweeting and you're leaving a comment, an intelligent comment, this is what people are going to see, right? Your name, your handle, your profile picture, and your comment itself. And that's going to draw people to your page, especially when you're in the early stages of Twitter. So when I go to Keith's, I see by the way, I don't like either profile picture. In fact, I think the older one is better that you have because it feels more like personal. Yesterday in the call, we mentioned if you're going to use a picture of your face, it needs to be zoomed in. That picture that you have right there, and maybe you're mentioning it won't let you change the picture anymore. That picture's just not good. It looks like you have like a really small head. Okay. I know that you don't because you look normal in the other picture. But the problem is like Keith Ferrara at Big K28. I don't know what you do. Okay. So I'm less likely to even click on that because what are you? I don't know. If I just saw this, I would guess, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't even figure that you do anything. I would just figure, I'm actually going to put this in the chat here. Like if you just saw this, that, you wouldn't think about you would think this is a guy on vacation just having a good time. You know, you would assume this is a consumer. I would too. This is a guy that's just there to retweet other people. So I wouldn't even bother taking the first step. So if you primed people for what they're going to get before you go there, you're going to be in a better situation, even before they go. So there's that. I'm going to move on from your picture. So again, like I just showed you 3 other examples. Was I posting these in the lesson? Where was I posting these? Oh, geez. Did I post these in the wrong room? I cannot find my notes. You're not seeing anything? Oh, that's a shame. I was sending so much good sauce right there. Okay, so basically when you go to somebody's profile, you need to prime them for what they're going to do before you go there. And the way to play this is you look at their profile picture. I'm going to send them right here. Profile picture. You can tell all the people that we have worked with, they all follow this and they convert at such a higher level. If I just took a look at their name, their handle, and their profile picture, you can already guess what they're going to talk about even before you go to that page. And they're on stronger ground than you are because they have defined their account. They're defined who they are. You know what they do. When you go to their page, that's when they click on your page, and then you convert them there. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to, so that's Keith. I like your banner, except for like you're really dark in this. I think you got too much of your stuff. The banner shows that you're trying, and I think that's good. I think the black and white is just a little boring. I do like the one with you squatting, and the one with you running, though, is like you're black, and you teach people how to sprint faster. Is that something that's really interesting? I don't know if that's something that is like really in demand right now, but Save Your Son, do you have any comments for Keith?
Yeah, real quick on the @ handle, the Big K28. This goes for everybody. Remember, first of all, Big K28 feels like something you made in college as like an inside joke with your buddies. Like that's your nickname, Big K. And so people immediately see that and they think consumer. Here's another reason that it's important. When people are discovering you, go to your profile and decide if they want to follow you. What do they see? All they see is your picture, your display name, and your @ handle. That's the only data they have whether or not they should click that. Like you say you make a comment under a big account and people see it and they're like, oh, let me decide if I want to check out Big K. If they see Big K28, they're not going to know what you do, like AOP mentioned. And B, they're going to see that and be like, oh, this is like his like nickname from college with his buddies. This is just like a random dude's account. Position yourself. Remember that all people are seeing when they're seeing your account for the first time is that display name, that @ handle, and that profile picture, and put it out there what you would want people to see so that they click your profile and go and follow you.
I'm with you on that. 1,000%, man. All right, let's take a look at the next one. I do not understand this branding at all. This is another situation where I wonder, like, have we been looking at the stuff that we've been teaching in here? So I'm going to make this real simple for you. By the way, those videos have transformations that have been made. I know that I'm going to feature a lot of you guys in transformation. Here's an account. So I'm taking a look at Lean. She is her own boss, and I don't even know where to begin. So I think of another account that's a lot like it, and another account that has gone through a CPP and has growing quite a bit recently. I think she came in with like 100 or 200 followers. Now she's got over 1,000. Is Sarah Larson at Fearless Rising. And this is a well put together brand, a well put together account that kind of reminds me of what Lean is. But Sarah looks a lot more personal and looks like a real person. So one of the dangers when you go is like one of these like Midjourney AI creations is it looks like I don't know what this is really. I don't know where you got this picture from. It looks like it's like a bot account, or it looks like somebody who's not really real. And it's just not aesthetic. And, I don't get it. Like I would either use your picture or somebody else's. This is another person who's done something similar, who was in our last cohort. This is Della. This is a great account at DataFeels. And they're just so much more personal brands, and they kind of like are in the same kind of area and niche as yours. Now, I'm going to give you a couple, just real. I told you Double Shack is coming. When you have She Is Her Own Boss. Now, I think this is a it's good. This is that part of your isn't bad, but the issue is that 75% of the people who are on Twitter are male. And when they see she is her own boss, it's going to be basically a male repellent. When you look at Sarah's and Fearless Rising, that's going to get people also, it's going to get a much wider audience. Della at Data Feels, that's going to get a much wider audience. They're much more personal brands, and they're much more, they feel like real people. Yours doesn't look like a real person. So there's another thing in here that is kind of like a pet peeve of mine. These are like the platitudes in the banner, like take care of the world inside of you so that you can take care of the world outside of you. Again, this is telling and not showing. Okay. And Sarah Larson's is showing you that she does that. Della is showing, well, Della talks about something different, but she is showing you she's taking you to a place. Okay. This is kind of like, this doesn't really tell me anything. What does take care of the world inside so that you take care? I don't know what that means. And so we talked about in our lesson that the banner needs to tell people what you're going to do for them. But when I see platitude inside, outside, I don't know. That can mean anything to anyone. So the other part is the is that location often spotted on a yoga mat. Again, you're telling people, like, why not have instead something of you like in your yoga studio with like a really aesthetic picture of the yoga studio? That could be a lot more interesting than just saying, hey, I'm in this location. Why not use those images? We have Hannah Frankman, who we've worked with before. Hannah Frankman's a great account. She runs Rebel Educator. So she has a huge account. But this is her personal account as well. And it just is so interesting. She's a Hannah Frankman. And so you can see what she has done. Here's actually her Rebel Educator account. That's actually, it's around 100,000 followers, but she runs both accounts. It just doesn't have a personal feel at all, Lean. And when you're inviting people to go on a journey with you, there's not enough you, and it just feels very sterile. Save Your Sons, you got comments for Lean?
Yeah, this is just totally like Black Mirror, dystopia, future shock.
Yeah.
Like the Bitmoji is bad enough, but then you've also got the like VR glasses on or something. It's gonna scream bot account to people, and it's going to be really, really hard to grow. The fact that you've got 1,100 followers, I don't know what your branding was like before this, but the fact that you've got any following with this type of branding means you're good. Means your content must be really good. So with the right branding, you're going to explode. You're clearly talking about good stuff, but right now I bet you're converting at 5% or less of your profile visits, and we want to see that get up to 30 or higher. And the way you do that is by fixing the branding in the way we've been talking about.
Yeah, and she's not like, we're not telling her to start a new account. We're telling her to make it more personal so she can make connections.
I mean, you're doing something right, something really right to convert with this branding. The content's good, so let's supercharge it by fixing the branding.
Yeah, okay, so let's take a look at Travis. Okay, so we're going to play a game for Travis here. I'm going to drop his picture in this chat right here. I want you to, okay, let's pretend, don't read his bio. Guys, what do you think Travis talks about when you see this screenshot in the chat? I took a picture of him. It's his profile picture, his name, and his handle. Guess below. What's he do? What does he do? I want to see people typing. What do you think Travis talks about? There's a screenshot of his profile picture, his name, and his handle. We're not going to look. Just guess. Okay, talks about hiking, talks about digital nomad, talks about hiking, talks about archaeology. Let's see him. This is good. This is such a great outdoor tips. That's actually what I would guess too. Like he's like going to teach you how to be a survivalist. I can't wait to learn how to build a solar outdoor plant in the middle of my off the grid home and learn how to, survivalist. Travis Hubbard, the survivalist. I'm excited. Okay, so let's find out what Travis talks about. I hope we're not disappointed here. Oh, empowering tech careers. Did anyone guess that? Save Your Son says MAGA account. Somebody actually guessed tech. I think you cheated. Guys, you're not looking at the right pictures. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm having you guys go back and forth. So nobody guessed tech that actually was looking at the profile picture, the name, and the handle. Okay. They only guessed tech because they read the banner. So that's a huge strike. That's a huge strike. No one's going to know what you guys talk about based off of, guys, this is the exercise. You can only look at those three things. Okay. You'll never guess that he talks about tech in a million years. So what's going to happen is somebody's going to go to Travis's account and they're going to be like, this is a tech account? I'm not interested in tech. I'm interested in survival skills. So you don't look like a tech account and you don't prime anybody to be a tech account. And this is a huge mistake. Now, on the other hand, let's take a look at what's a good tech account that primes you or anything in that kind of space. Anybody in that space. I'm trying to find somebody who is in that space. Well, a lot of these tech accounts don't brand themselves that well. Okay, here's
David Nunez.
David Nunez. Yeah, here's Joe Independent U. Like, look at Joe Independent U. It's because we're dorks. Always think of your audience. I like your attitude, by the way. You're going to make it because you know why you have so many followers? Because you have a personality, dude. That's why. Yes, yes, thank you. David Nunez. Take a look at David Nunez, Emerging Tech and Humans, right? You understand what he's going to do.
Like the Steve Jobs look, the shadow on his face, the black and white, it all screams tech.
Yeah. Okay. And then when I go to your banner, Travis, no offense, this is one of the worst banners I've seen. Like, I want to stop. I don't want to read the words because the look is so hard on my eyes. It's like this blue, and it feels like you went to Canva and you just typed in a bunch empowering tech careers. Take a look at David Nunez instead. And David's kind of like dropped off of Twitter, but we took him from 2,000 to like 18,000. Okay. He has a picture of himself like inside of the Matrix, dude. Like compare that to yours. Graphic design is my passion. That's what it looks like. Yeah. And remember earlier I talked about showing people, not telling people. So when you have a low effort banner, what are you telling people? I'm a low effort person. You're not a low effort person though. And I only use Microsoft Paint. So wait a second. This doesn't make any sense. This guy supposedly is empowering tech people, but he doesn't know enough about tech to be able to create himself a great banner. Oh, I told you Shaq was going into Paint. Right?
Yeah, and we're
make no
having fun
sense.
joking around, Travis, because you clearly have a sense of humor as well. But the point is, again, you've got 6,000 followers in a couple of years, less than 2 years. That tells me you got something good going with your content. It's only going to accelerate. It'll compound and exponentially if you can get that conversion. It's all about conversion rate, people. It's all about if you have 1,000 visits in a month and you're converting 10% of them. Well, how different is that than if you converted 30% of them, and then you extrapolate that over a year, and the only thing that's going to change your conversion rate is these branding elements. So fix that banner, fix that profile picture, fix that display name, and you're going to see that follow growth go faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, right on. Okay. All right, Tatiana is up next. Tatiana, straight up, you can get yourself a better profile picture ASAP. The profile picture you have on Telegram is better than the one by far that you have. Like, take a look, y'all. And I think you need people to give you feedback here. The profile picture that you have on Telegram is a lot better than the profile picture that you have on Twitter. Okay, just straight up. So I think you can find yourself a way better picture to get people's attention. The one that you have, like Tatiana, the one that you have in the Twitter page looks like something that you snapped like you were in your car and you were about to run in and get something from Wendy's or something like that, and the wind's blowing behind you, and you got like these big, like nobody can, you have a big picture of your face, but nobody can really see the fit. Like these glasses are so huge. So this other picture that you have is so much more friendlier. And this is a much better picture. I think you can do even better than that though, but you should aim more for this ASAP. Okay. All right. So you're kind of in like this like tough spot, Tatiana, because you're in this era. Your whole branding is positioned like about what you can do for people, like with making sales. And the problem with this is that it is so niche. Okay. Here's somebody who does a pretty good job of this, but here's the issue. When I see an email marketing copywriter, the good news is I know what you can do. Okay. And you have a good claim, right? And you're showing me, because I can already tell you're a good copywriter, because increase your revenue without spending any money on ads is good, because you're getting on it. You're hitting a pain point for people is what you're doing. The problem is that this is so niche that 99% of people, they don't know what increase your revenue without spending any money on ads is. So unless you want to grow really slowly, you need to keep this. So I get a few people messaging me last night, and they're kind of like, AOP, I have this offer, I have this agency. Should I just position my profile to revolve around this agency? And I don't really suggest that at first. I think what you need to do is you need to talk about things that a general audience is interested in, grow your audience, and then convert people to, and then let people know slowly about what your offers are. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So instead of writing about how to increase your revenue without spending money on ads, why don't you write about marketing? Why don't you write about psychology? Why don't you write about the things that are in the general area of what you talk about that are going to attract a much wider audience? Save Your Son, do you have any questions for Tatiana or comments?
No, I agree. I think the profile picture is your biggest improvement area right now, and yeah, it looks like so homemade and like such an afterthought you have right now. And this goes for everybody. If take you don't need to spend $1,000 on hiring a photographer. Everybody in their pocket has a phone that can take great pictures in portrait mode. So go outside when the sun is setting. We call it the golden hour, 7 8 p.m. whatever it is, and get a nice natural background behind you. Get a significant other or a friend, whoever, to snap a few portrait mode pictures and put those up, and it's 10x the way that you're perceived immediately online.
Right on. All great comments. All right. So the next one I have is Jordy. So we'll play the game here in the chat with Jordy. This one is, let's see here. Again, like, I don't really know what this guy's going to talk about before I get there. Now, I will say this. He does look a little bit like a tech guy. Yes, he does look like it. So his look is there, but I think somewhere in there you can prime people. And what I would say is maybe like either change your name to like Jordy Tech and Coding or something like that, or change your handles. Because when I look at these two things, the name and the handle matching exactly the same, it's not adding anything to the conversation. You're not taking anybody anywhere with it. So I would change a little bit about that. So get more money. First of all, I don't like these emojis at all, like that are all up here. I don't like it. It's just unnecessarily busy. Get more. Oh, and then we have oh man, Save Your Sons. It's the first one we've seen so far. It's the arrow to the follow button. Oh boy. And it's not even a regular arrow. It's one with a swirl. Oh man, I cannot I cannot stand these arrows at all. I just think they're very hokey and they don't work. Save Your Sons, you got something like 550,000 followers. And oh man, I just realized I forgot to post today. And yeah. So anyway, I'm going to get to that in a second. But this, can you change the at handles after the initial account creation? The answer is yes. Of course you can.
Yes.
Yeah. So get more money with better code. I think that, again, this is kind of like Tatiana's. It's like, and there's a reason why this account's not growing. It's because it's so specifically niched that you're not going to appeal to a wide audience. And what does any of this, I don't even understand what this means. Clean, maintainable, scalable. What? I'm just confused. Clean, maintainable, scalable. That's a spot where you put your niches right there. I don't understand what that has to do. So I guess you're referring to what you do with how you code. But again, yeah, but Colin, 99% of people coming to the page aren't programmers. That's the problem. So as I said in my lesson, as soon as somebody gets something in their mind and they're confused by it, they leave. That's how people solve problems by just moving on.
This is such a thing I get pushback on from clients and people in CPP. They're like, well, I want to niche down. I want to get I only want programmers. Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you rather have 50,000 followers where 10% of them are programmers? Or would you rather have 5,000 followers when 90% of them are programmers? Every single time I'm picking the big audience, and you're going to still attract programmers if you make your branding a little bit more broad, because that's the thing you're talking about. So you're not losing anything by taking out this really niche down stuff, but you're gaining everything because you're giving yourself the ability to build a really big brand and a really big presence online, which you're taking away from yourself if you're just right out of the gate. I'm only talking to 1 out of every 2,000 people on the planet, or 1 out of every 20,000 people on the planet. You're never going to get traction and you're never going to grow big. Whereas you could and still have way more people in your target audience if you chose to be a little more broad in your branding.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm posting right now. I just remember.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing for Jordy while you post, AFP.
Yeah.
Yes, it does still maintain your followers, Mark. It might make you lose your blue check. I'm not sure about that.
Yes. Yeah, but you got when you have these guys don't have many followers right now either, so it doesn't really matter. You could just restart your account.
You're another guy who should just start brand new anyway, since you're 2015 and you've only got 72 followers. Like, start over. And then the other thing I'll say on your bio, creating my own company is another one of those that's just so lukewarm, so tepid. Nobody cares what you're gonna do. Nobody cares what you say you're gonna do. And I'm not even one of those people who says, never share your goals, keep everything close to your chest. Talk about your goals all you want, but don't put them right there in your branding elements, because nobody's going to be impressed by that. Nobody's like, oh man, these guys creating his own company. Okay, every dime a dozen wannabe entrepreneurs creating their own company. Nobody cares about that. Lead with what you have the sauce in. Just the 12 years of programming experience, you've developed software. The more detail you can give on that stuff, what you've already done, that's impressive. That's what you want to put in your branding, not this, I'm going to create a company one day. Okay, nobody's going to convert because they read that.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to move on to the next one. This is Ash. Ash, this could be such a cool account, but it's just not. Okay? Just straight up, dude. Like, I've been looking at it after I posted. But I've been looking at it while Save Your Sons has been talking, and I'm like, wow. So if I look at the name and I look at what's this guy talk about? Red says a wedding planner. Yeah, it's like, it's something that is a huge miss, right? So this guy talks about cinema. So and this guy could, I think an account that like literally just talks about movies would just absolutely crush it. Like, it reminds me of an account called Alex and Books. And I know Alex has like gone through some of our materials before, and his banner can improve. But just on the fact that Alex tweets about books all day, and books are like maybe one of the best niches of all time to tweet about, he grows like crazy. Okay. And really all I don't understand why no one has done this. Why hasn't anybody created an account like Alex and Books, but called it like Ash in Movies or Alex in Movies?
There's some account that always shows up on my timeline that does movies, and they have a podcast, and it's like a Darth Vader, their profile picture. I can't think of the name of it. but they're huge because and everything they post goes viral because they'll write like cool threads about behind the scenes on how Jurassic Park got made or stuff like that.
Like every movie post I have, and I hate posting about movies because I don't watch movies anymore. But like any movie post that I have, and these are actually movies that I do like, by the way, it absolutely crushes it. So like, why hasn't? So I go to Ashes, and like, there's nothing there. It's like this picture doesn't. So if I were to have a movie account, I would have the coolest freaking picture of myself, kind of like Francis Ford Coppola behind the old school camera. Like, you know, I would have this amazing profile picture, you know, that shows that I understand aesthetics. And then for yours, it's okay. All right. But then this you looks like you have some like kind of stock photo of what? Never use a stock photo ever. Never ever use a stock photo. It just looks like some stock photo there. I share insights. Yeah, you guys like my list. See how
You're getting engagement. You're getting engagement on the tweet during our call.
and that wild. It's that good. See, I don't understand why people aren't doing it. Anyway, so I share insights from old forgotten videos. Ooh, what a weird way to describe movies, right? I bring back the old movies to help you understand the classics, right? Or I talk about old movies so that you can connect with the classics. Do you see the difference between what I just said off the top of my head and versus what you just wrote?
Movies, or is it kind of like what Ben Carlson will do sometimes and post like cool news clips, or is it a
Oh,
mixture?
yeah. I don't know. That's it. I don't know because he has like I think movies because of his banner, right?
Here he's saying it's like Ben Carlson. So yeah,
Oh,
Ash,
whoa. Okay.
you that's great. You paid attention and you saw somebody doing something that really works. Ben, I don't know where he finds this stuff, but they're always good, and they get great traction, and it's kind of like you're like renting out somebody else's thoughts to show how you think, and that's really cool because you have this pre-validation, social proof, social validation of how you think, and people ascribe that to you, and then they follow you, and you can see the proof in the pudding of how Ben's grown. So I love that angle. But yeah, you're not describing it well at all in this branding. Nobody's gonna get that, and there's definitely better ways to do it that I'll think about as we go through the rest of this call.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one. There's so many people that I want to make sure I get to every single person. I'm not kidding about that. All right. So the next person is Nick Loves Spain. Oh, I lost it. Okay. Got so many screenshots and none of it is saving. That is so dope. Okay. Cool. Let me get it back again. Are y'all learning from our calls? Like what we talk about for one person applies to you. Big whiff right here. There's a lot of whiffs right here. But the good news is you've got the profile picture. You guys are learning a lot. Yeah. See, if we weren't going hard in the paint like Double Shack, you wouldn't learn. So here's Nick O'Brien. When I see the name Nick O'Brien talks about Spain, yeah. Go ahead, save yourself. What you gonna say?
I just think it's. I mean, I like, but I'm glad you got something, man. You love you clearly are passionate about Spain, which is great. It's it comes across as just like a little obsessive as somebody seeing this for the first time. Like, oh, I just what the hell is this? This guy is
Well,
like
on the last call, I told him to position himself more about Europe as like travel, and like you know what I'm saying. And again, because I don't get it, and this is exactly what I said to him too. So this is the second Shack that's coming hard in the paint and being like, why just Spain? Like, you
It's
know?
like it's like if I made an account that's like I love Beatles, and I'm gonna talk about every type of Beetle. It's just like a little specific, obsessive, and it's good that you like that obsession is important because that's what's gonna make you be successful. But broaden your lens a little bit and make it palatable to the average person, so it doesn't look like that you're just like
Yeah.
obscenely obsessed
Okay.
with this country.
Yeah. It does. It comes over way over the top, and it comes too hard in the paint. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a general comment. I do not like this banner at all, and and the reason why is that it's just not doesn't look good. It's overstimulating. I mentioned this in the video. If you take a look at the lesson that I posted yesterday, there was Clint Murphy's profile. You know, when he first started working with us, he had like 25 different pictures in his banner. When you overstimulate, nothing happens. So instead of just, you know, why not just one of these pictures? I wouldn't use the meat, okay? I wouldn't use the cathedral either. I would either use like something like that beautiful background, serene in the background, or the ocean, okay? And then I would have like one of the issues is this is hard to read. This text is in the center. That's good. Travel and life in Spain. Again, I would position myself differently, but there's just way too much going on in this banner. All right, I'm going to go to the next person because I gave comments to this account. Yeah, that account yesterday. This one looks pretty good. I'm going to give you some comments here. Here's Elliot. Now, if I see Elliot here, I would, this is good. I'm just taking a look at his picture and his profile and his name. I would prime people for what they're going to do here because this is taking me too long. I'll say one thing. It has a good aesthetic to it, okay? I would zoom in a little bit more on your face, and I would maybe try to brighten up the picture a little bit, okay?
Flip it, too. Flip that picture so you're facing the other way.
Yeah, you want to you want to remember how you're going to be looking away on the timeline.
Subconsciously, that will make a difference to people.
Now here's something. I can't stand when people do this. They put a quote of somebody else in their banner. We wanted flying cars, instead we got 140 characters. And I look at it and go, who cares? I don't know what is this? This is such a waste of space right here. It is a quote of somebody else in your banner, and I don't even know what that means. We wanted flying cars, instead we got 140 characters. So like now
it's like a dig at Twitter, which
it sucks.
If you just put in your banner, Twitter sucks, I hate it here. Doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like, man, it's like oh man, that's not good. That's really bad. It really comes off off of a negative start. This is a bad banner. So when I don't know what you do. And then when I go to the look is good. I have to say, like, the dark, all that works is like good profile picture. And then I read the bio and I go, the thought-provoking guy. Who calls themselves that? I'm a thought-provoking dude. Okay? No, I'm not trying to, but I never say it. Okay? Like, I'm full of hot takes. And they're all 100% right. But I don't brand myself the thought-provoking guy. Read my newsletter to change your mind about technology. What is it that you're doing what are you talking about technology? And learn how to build your audience? Okay. All right. I'm going to stop right here because I'm just going to stop. Okay. You have 33 followers on Twitter and you're teaching people, positioning yourself on how to build your audience. Do you find any of this ironic? One of the worst niche on Twitter is teaching people how to build an audience. Though it's the dumbest niche. I teach people how to build audiences. I never tweet about how to build your audience for a lot of reasons. One of it being
build your audience, and then people ask you how you did it.
Exactly.
That's when you sell them.
Yeah. So you have 33 followers, and you're teaching people how to build your audience. This is like such negative social proof. It's, like walking into a restaurant on a Saturday night, and there's no people sitting there. And you're just like, this is a terrible restaurant. I got to get out of here. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Next account coming up. I just don't get it. Email engineer at engineer email. A picture of Nikola Tesla. There's no banner in this. I don't know what's going on here. I don't even know what's going on here.
Just the Tesla mic drop.
What is going on? So if I see an account and they got like Nikola Tesla in the banner, in the profile picture, I go. So by the way, what's up with all of these accounts that are like, there's like a gazillion accounts right now that are all like starting out and they're like, I'm going to help you write emails. There's like a freaking 1,000 of them. And I have no clue why. It's called minimalism AOP. I don't understand what's going on right now. Blame Eddie? No, that's definitely not Eddie, dude. Does Eddie position himself as a look? Let me go to Eddie's profile, because I don't think Eddie's called the email guy. His name is War on Weakness, right? Let's take a look at how Eddie approaches branding, because this is actually brilliant. Okay. Eddie's handle is at War on Weakness. Now, he started off talking, different content, and he's evolved. But look at the banner. He's showing you where he's taking you. Like, you want to live, like, he's like staring off into the jungle. He's a free man. Kind of like the Shawshank Redemption, when that guy is like, he gets out of the sewer and he like looks up at the sky. Well, he's like, this is Eddie. He's looking off into the vast. He's free from the 9 to 5. And then when you read his bio, it all, it's along the same lines. Left the 9 to 5 for freedom. Learn to monetize your audience with storytelling emails. Okay, but email engineer is, I don't understand it. Like, when I think Nicholas Tesla, the last thing I think about is email. I don't see a banner. My unique blueprint transforms your email list into the heart of your brand. This is all word salad. None of this really makes any sense. My unique blueprint. So, like, look, compare that to Eddie, where he defines himself exactly with what you're going to get. Learn to monetize your audience with storytelling. Okay, like, compare the two. So I understand you're just getting started, but this is like such a rough draft that I just really can't give him any more comments to it. All right, so this is okay. I'm gonna give you a comment right here. I sell or else. I actually kind of like this.
I kind of like this whole thing. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the first one I've seen that I kind of dig it. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you why this really swings the bat hard. Like, this is like, and it's interesting. And it's interesting. Like, my curiosity is piqued. I sell or else. I think that your handle and your name could be different, because we already got the I sell or else part. By the way, isellerelse.com is something that you need to secure right now.
Yeah, and then say, like, sell or die is the other one.
Yeah, sell or die, sell or poor, sell or poor.
Sell or starve.
Sell or starve, yeah. Something that primes people, but I really, yeah. But I like this. I like the I sell or else. I like this. I like this. This is like, no, the profile picture I'm kind of mixed on, because like you're covering up your face. So, but I do like the mug. Guys, cohort, what do you guys think of the profile picture? I'm like really split on it. What do you guys think?
I would run it. I would run it with it just like this and see what happens. If he's really like this, to me, this is a big personality. I'm gonna see this guy, and I'm gonna expect him, based on this, I'm gonna expect him to have some really unique voice, some really interesting takes that I haven't thought of before. So if you can deliver that, then this branding will take you really far. If you don't deliver that, and it'll be pretty apparent in that you won't grow your following very quickly, and you might need to go to something a little more conventional.
Okay, so like I cannot wait till we open up some of these rooms, because I can't wait to see what some of his content's going to be. I like the bio. There's so much I like going on, and this has got me. World's okayest copywriter. I'm not 1,000% sure I want to brand myself that, but I do like this part. Not sure why Twitter copywriters don't talk about sales and psychology, but I do. Oh my gosh. That is like that's written. I think it's written well, because I've been giving you comments today. Don't you notice that I've been saying the same thing to about half of the people in here? This guy teaches you something that you're going to be learning from even if you're not a copywriter, because everybody can learn about sales and psychology. Sold over 6 figures in cold traffic. I like that too, that you have social proof there. I'm not sure if I like subconsciously, I would call myself an okay copywriter. That's the only, my only little small beef about the, that I have about it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go on to the next one because I've just got so many going
If
on.
if you're gonna do that sort of that self-deprecation with the okayest copywriter, then you need to immediately follow it up with the proof that you're actually good. So the world's okayest copywriter that somehow managed to sell 6 figures in cold traffic.
Yeah,
The two together.
it's got my attention. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, 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 yes. World's okayest copywriter. Yeah, I think about that. All right, this is Virgil. Virgil, congrats on having 5,400 followers. Okay, so when I see these accounts, this is like I'm using yellow because I read in a psychology book that is pseudoscience that yellow helps bring around feelings of or orange. Sorry, oh my gosh. Uh, Yellow, orange tells me to do this, and none of that really works. Okay, I would think that your profile picture would look a lot better if it was a lot more natural. Okay, yeah. Somebody says it seems hard, like the colors are really harsh to me. It's like orange on orange because I read somewhere that orange makes this psychological trigger mindset. Just show people, okay? Just show people that. And like here's a good one. He went through our last cohort as well. This is like much better on the eyes. This is the thinking investor right here. It feels just so much more natural. By the way, he's priming. You can tell these people went through our cohort. And he's growing like crazy. Right? So Virgil, I would get some go outside, get a nice profile picture of you, and show us instead of just orange. I am not a fan of those heavily edited pictures. They just feel really sterile to me. This is another guy, good picture here. Joe Financially Savvy. He's been in masterclass for years. He looks like a guy that's financially savvy, right? So, all right, let's take a look at this. He's got the arrow to remind you to give him a follow. The building block. Join 1,800 business owners who read my newsletter. I think that's not a flex. I help you build, sell, and scale your course. Sign up with the link below. Okay. So this is coming with like a really hard sell. Now, 99% of the time, I'm going to tell people not to do this. Now, I'll just tell you, the result that you're going to get is you're going to grow a little slower, all right? Because you're selling so hard right off of the bat. And a lot of people are going to see it, and they're just going to be like, I'm not somebody who does I'm not somebody who does selling courses. So this is one of the reasons though why you are doing so well is right here. This bio is strong. You lead with the social proof wisely. I built $10 million course business. I help you launch, sell, and scale your course. Read my newsletter to get an unfair advantage without imposter syndrome. I don't really know what that last part does. And I would change this link. Instead of saying 1,800, join the thousands of entrepreneurs. We can just round up to 2, right? Join the thousands. Thousands of entrepreneurs. Save your sons. You got any comments for Virgil?
Yeah, it's selling way too hard, man. You're selling too hard. There's a couple other we've seen. I'm glad AOP brought this up for this one. But you're hustling backwards, dude. You're killing yourself. This incredible social proof. You build a $10 million business. Are you kidding me? That's 1 in a million, dude. Nobody's done that. So that's great. So put it front and center as you have. But then there's some cognitive dissonance that comes to a reader when they're like, this guy built a $10 million business and he's trying to hustle his how to build a course business. It doesn't jive. It's like, well, why are you so hard up for money that you got to sell right at the beginning? But just instead build a $10 million course business, teaching you how I did it.
Wasn't Hermosi's banner, I'm here to sell you nothing for a while?
I've got nothing to sell you.
I've got nothing to sell you. Yeah, this is like the opposite.
Yeah, so you've got this great social proof, but you're destroying it by immediately being like, now give me $50 for my course. I don't know how much your course costs, but it just seems like
wise and pound foolish. So instead, just like you would grow 3 times as fast if you just said, I built a $10 million course business. I'm going to teach you everything I know. Boom, that's their bio. People then you build your email list, you sell on the timeline, and you sell to your email list. Just disqualifying people immediately when they see this hard sell and the branding.
I had a guy send me his profile yesterday. He had 10 followers, and it was a picture of his book with like 5,000 arrows pointing to his book. And it's just like, that is like people repellent. It's just like when I see somebody trying to sell right off of the bat like that, not even warming, I'm out. All right, so here's Romania, adventure and entrepreneurship. Red here. Okay, so this is I feel like this has always been a well-branded page. I feel as though I think a lot of the issues that you have are kind of like why you're not, I know you're back here, but I think a lot of the issues that you're having with growth have to do more with, you need to start trading with other Twitter accounts. You need to play the game of Twitter a little bit better. This is like, you need to post a little bit more for engagement purposes, and you need to actually trade with a few more accounts retweet wise, like that are over the 10,000 follower mark. I think if you do that, you're going to actually start growing. If your content, which is the biggest part of your brand, is, I think, the weakest, not the actual aesthetics and the branding. I feel like it's taken a step back here. And let me tell you why. It feels like you had this good picture. I think the adventure picture is cool. I would have myself a little farther to the right, okay, to balance out the picture. But it feels like you just slapped travel, entrepreneurship, and creating in this, you just went to Canva, you slapped these 3 words in there. You don't need to do that because your picture shows us that. I can already tell you're creative because this is a creative brand. I can already tell you talk about, you're showing us. You went from showing us to telling us, okay? Let's take a look at this bio here. I think this could work. Create and work smart from anywhere. Get action plans to start your dream life. See, this is stuff that's really vague. How about this? I teach you how to make 6 figures from a laptop from anywhere in the world. That's not vague. I would remove this hashtag rejected 9 to 5. Blue text is bad. Blue text is bad. So somebody could click on that hashtag rejected 9 to 5 and then go somewhere else. That's not good because you want them going to rejectthe9to5.com. Now, create and prosper does not. It feels like a nod to Star Trek, okay, which I think is something that you're winking towards, but I think it's too clever and it's not clear. So what kind of priming should reject the 9 to 5 have? Not create and prosper. It should talk about the result that they're going to get, right? Quit your job, arrow. Save your sons. What do you think about this branding so far?
Yeah, Red, I think to the extent that you're not growing, it's not because of your branding. It's got to be because of some of the what Dino and I call the ground game, which is the day in, day out stuff, the content strategy, how you're writing your content, how you're distributing your content, which is all valuable stuff that it feels, for somebody like you who's been doing this a while, it probably feels ticky-tacky to do that. I know it does when I do it, but I still do it because it's part of the fundamentals that help me grow. And I know that one of my chief goals is growth because it's traffic and that's what I need to succeed in what I want to do. So think about that. But the branding, visually, I would get rid of the travel, entrepreneurship, creating, because the banner is so cool on its own. Freaking Indiana Jones. You look
love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like she just looks like a cool, like somebody that you want to be friends with.
Yeah.
So leave it like that. That you're not seeing plateau growth because of the branding. The branding is good. Think about your content and your strategy behind that content, and see that I'm sure you would convert 30% or higher with this branding. So let's just get the visits. That's all you need.
Red, I think what you need to do, and you're in a lot different situation than most of the people here because you have over 10,000 followers. You need to find people that are inside this cohort that are in the 5 to 20,000 follower K range, and you need to regularly trade with them every day or every other day, just informally. And you need to start posting more threads. Remember I told you to write a thread? Give yourself these deadlines, and you need to start delivering more value to your timeline. Okay. All right. To demonstrate that you can be somebody that's going to be able to help people reject that 9 to 5, because you're asking a lot. You're asking people to put a lot of faith in you to help you get to a certain result that's really important to them. All right, let's take a look at Miro. So again, let's just play this right here. This is Miro. He's got a look at this profile. What do you guys think that Miro talks about? You can only look at his picture, his name, and his handle. I want to see some guesses in our chat right here. What do you think he talks about? I don't, because honestly, I'm actually completely. Let's see some picture. You can only look at his name. Name, handle, and yeah, I don't know what he talks about. Like, I don't know. Like, he looks like a guy that talks about like
outsourcing tech support. I don't know.
Yeah, gaming, yeah. NFTs. Travis, something digital. Okay, so he writes about, like, as I take a look at his banner, by the way, this text is like so small. Sharing tips on how to scale your online business using Facebook ads. What? This is just like, you notice that all of these accounts that are like super niche, like showing you how to make more money copywriting with email lists. Notice these accounts don't have any followers. Why? Because they're so niched down into this one thing that 99% of people who are on Twitter don't, first of all, hate Facebook. Okay. And then nobody's using Facebook ads. I don't get it. So this is not going to grow because what you need to talk about instead. What do you talk about instead? Well, like the copywriter guy gets it. He's talking about marketing. He's talking about psychology. You can talk about entrepreneurship. You can talk about making money. You have 100K. Look at you have over 100 million in sales. You have 100 million in sales. All right, that's what's on your page. You're not positioned like it. Art of Sales is. He's only done 30 million. But look at how Art of Sales relates it to a worldwide audience. Fire your boss and live a life of abundance. And then when you read his content, you're going to learn how to, networking secrets. You're going to learn about psychological, cognitive biases, how to make the most money out of like negotiations. These are things that anyone can apply. You see the difference? Save Your Sons, you got some comments here for Miro?
Yeah, it's that same thing.
I think Save Your Sons just dropped out. You there, buddy?
Oh, man.
Oh, no. You came back. What's up? You're not sure how to get out of this niche. We just told you. You're not sure how to get out of this niche. You just reposition yourself. Save Your Sons. You there, buddy? You need to talk about what okay, so think about what the people who are interested in Facebook ads, what are they interested in? They're interested in making money online, entrepreneurship, marketing, sales, psychology. That's what you tweet about. Those things. This is one of the reasons why I ask you, who is your target audience? You don't just tweet about that one niche thing to your target audience. You tweet about stuff that your internet is. Save Your Sons, you there? You're back on.
Yeah, I'm here. You might hear some small children in the background.
That's fine. You got any comments for him? He says he doesn't know how to get out of his niche.
What do you mean? Like,
that doesn't mean anything.
You don't need to just talk about. Just change the branding. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Like your branding is what's so niche down, and then you talk about digital. You talk about digital marketing in your content, and how does that help people build their business? But with the problem with what you're doing now is when people get to your profile, this is something that appeals to 1 out of every 10,000 people or 1 out of every 100,000 people, because they're going to see, oh, I'm not using Facebook ads. Okay, well, your job is to educate them on why they should be. But you're disqualifying them right out of the gate by putting that in your bio, and they're leaving and never coming back, versus making it much more broad. Over $100 million in sales. I'm going to teach you everything I know about digital marketing. That should be your bio. And that'll again, would you rather have 100,000 followers where 10,000 of them are your ideal client avatar, or 5,000 followers where 100% of them are your ideal client avatar? The answer is really obvious, and you're going to get there by not being so niche down in your branding.
All right, let's go to Colin right here. Okay, real quick. We got so many people. I want to make sure I get to everybody, and there's like so many more to go to. This is a profile picture. I don't know what this guy does just by looking at him. Yeah, talk about what your audience cares about. This guy gets, by the way, I have arrived. You need to change your name in this. You need to change your name to your OK as copywriter. I have arrived as the OK as copywriter if you haven't figured it out. Your branding needs to match across all social media platforms. Do you understand? Even on Discord servers, even in your communities. Now, again, okay, so here is a low effort banner right here. Colin Matson, building the body. This is such a low effort. I'm going to be giving quick comments here. That it's a selfie in the gym. By the way, the good news is that you look like you can teach people how to get people the body they deserve. That's good. But this is a really low effort profile that just looks like it was slapped together in Canva, and you're showing people that you don't really pay attention to. You know, you're not very detail oriented. Okay, like compare this to Chris, right? Great profile. This is one of the best put together brands on Twitter. We worked with him when he had under 1,000 followers, and now he has over 100,000. Great profile picture. His banner is very aesthetic. He took time to put it together. He even has like this picture of him showing. He's not taking a selfie in front of a mirror. He's on a freaking bike. Okay, look how which guy would you trust with your health? All right, I'm going to move on to the next one. Jim Doyle. Oh, boy. We've got a quote in the banner. Jim Doyle. Is that a picture? Man, you're in good shape, dude. You look like a Roman statue. That's good. If that's you, you look like a Roman statue. You're going to do all right. I don't like this. I don't get it. Like, it's a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Socrates and Jim Doyle. Now, I get what you're saying. This would be a funny tweet. This would not be a good quote, because it's kind of like you're shit posting in a way, right? Oh, it's a Michael Scott joke. Is that right? Okay. Never do inside jokes, because even people like, you have to remember something. Half the people on Twitter don't even speak English as their first language. They're never going to get that that's a Michael Scott joke. Okay. What you need to do is you need to show people the results that you're going to get for them. We call this was called the Socrates of the gym once. What? Oh man, I don't even understand this. Nobody cares that you were called the Socrates of the gym. You're telling people. That's telling people. Here to help you build your body, strengthen your mind, and motivate you to become your best self. See, now that's fine. That's fine. You can have that in there. Save your son. You got any comments for Jim Doyle?
Yeah, I think the Socrates of the gym, like
nobody cares.
You're trying to be a little too cute with it, and Socrates.
Was he?
But like the gym,
Funny.
like if what you're going for is this sort of stoicism mixed with bodybuilding, and then talk about it, be more explicit about it. Don't rely on the average, because remember, you got people for 2 seconds. You have them for 2 seconds. Michael Scott is from The Office, Adam. You have people for 2 seconds, and if you make them think and draw and take leaps to get your jokes and your sense of humor, that there's too many leaps they have to take, and they're going to be gone and never come back. So hit people over the head with it. This is, I think, a gym bodybuilding stoicism account would grow really, really well, but just be a little bit more explicit with it in your branding.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to look at some of these. This is the next one, and this is interesting. I like the way that you are going with this, but I'm not 100% crazy about the result that you've gotten here. So I think the profile picture is good. Richard, it's a little long here. Financial freedom via real estate. I would just have real estate on here. I'm
The
pulling.
banner's got to go.
The
Yes,
banner's
sir.
got to go because the thing is that it's negative social proof. I understand why you did that. You wanted to show a picture of your properties so that you show that you live it, right? But the problem is that's negative social proof. Okay. And that is like, that's not, it's like, yeah, that looks like my first rental property. If you had something like a 1,000 different properties, or like a condo or something really interesting that you wanted to show off in your properties, then yeah, I do think that you should show what you have bought and what you have purchased before and what you have done in your content. Okay. And take a look at this post right here. Now, this is somebody who is showing a rundown property that they've gotten and like the results that they've gotten from it. Okay. And they're showing that they're making moves. This is the kind of stuff you want to do from a content perspective, but you don't want, oh no, that's not it. That's actually a really interesting post because it's about Home Depot right there. But you don't want to talk about, you don't want to have that picture as your actual profile, because that's not what people are going to think about in their minds based off of what they have there. So you could have kind of like a, you might even want to think about doing something like the Thinking Investor, you could have like I wouldn't put build your fortune with real estate, but you could have something that's like that there.
Yeah, and then put MIT PhD first.
Oh, is that I didn't even get to it.
Rat race in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, if you have an MIT PhD, you automatically gain 5,000 followers, I think, if you put it in your... Yeah.
Get your guys. This goes for everybody. Get your freaking birthdays out of the profile.
Oh
Nobody
my
cares.
God. Yeah.
Nobody. It makes you look like you want a medal for being born. Nobody cares about your birthday. Use everything in your branding element has to be intentional and serve a purpose. And there's zero purpose in showing your birthday, unless, I mean, maybe if you were like 18 and you had $100 million and you wanted to flex it that way. Other than that, get it out of there.
Yeah, but I get what you're trying to do. And is the Twitter handle too much show offy?
No,
it's just a little long. I think Financial Freedom via Real Estate is a little long. I would just say Richard Financial Freedom or Richard Real Estate. Okay.
He's talking about the My PhD Investor.
Oh, that? No. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
No. In fact, I'd put MIT PhD 2020. No, I'm just kidding. Like, this is fine. Yeah. You lead with your hard social, man. That's what you got. You earned it. All right, I got to move on to the next one because I want to make sure I get to everybody. Copy Stu, I think you need to get yourself a better profile picture. I think the one that you're using in this group itself is actually better. This looks like just like a thrown together. It doesn't make any sense to me here. So, copywriter, strategist, coach. It looks like you went into Canva, you typed up 3 niches, and you threw them together in there with a. I don't know. Do you live in? Where is that? Is this Florence? This is somewhere in Italy. It looks like. Do you live there? Maybe instead of that, like, let's say you live there, it could be like you in front of the statue of David, or like, oh, it's just a pic you took, but it doesn't have anything to do with copywriting strategy or coach. And then when I read your bio, it's just a rehash of what we just saw in the banner. Copyright, coach, except they're in different order. Instead of copywriter, strategist, coach, this is copywriter, coach, strategist. Yeah, there's nothing there that tells us why you're the guy. Discover the 3 essential emails every brand needs. I have no clue what this is. There's multiple links here. There's a download, which is scary. There's a lot of things. When I see this profile, I leave immediately because I go, there's no reason for me to be here. He's just telling me I'm a copywriter. Nowhere here, and compare this to the I Sell or Die or whatever that was. That was insane, right? He's showing you that he's a copywriter. Look, if you were a really good copywriter, your words should like just blow me out of the water. Your words should just go, wow, this guy is a copywriter. You shouldn't have to go like, it's social proof right here. Like compare it to George 10. Grammar Herpy copywriter. Use copy thinking to build $8.5 million store. Social proof, social proof, social proof, social proof. He's telling me that he understands why social proof matters. All right, I'm going to take a look at the next one. Digital marketing. Welcome to the digital. Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on this one right here. I feel as though like it's almost Chris. By the way, when I see Chris Guido, and I like do that little game, what do you think this guy tweets about? I do not think digital marketing. I think like this guy was like in a movie or something like The Shore. Yeah, I think like he's like a D tier, a pickup artist. That's a great response. Yeah, he's a pickup artist. He's the Jersey Shore. I think like he's like a D-list actor or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, oh, I think I've heard of this guy. And then you go, it's like digital marketing. And like, welcome to Market Psychology Story. It just feels very sterile. And nothing primes me for what I get before I go there. Oh my gosh. This is Save Your Sons. You read this bio right here. Digital marketer on the rise. What do you think of that bio right there?
Yeah, again, the aspirational stuff. I think it's killing people. Nobody cares what you're going to do. Nobody cares what you're going to do. Now you can talk about that stuff again in your content. That's great. I made a post yesterday how I'm going to make the new Disney, and that's fine. And people like being along the ride for the journey, but you got to get them on the bus first. And they're not going to get on the bus if they see that you're just if they think you're a beginner. Nobody wants to follow a beginner, and you may be a beginner, but you're not so much of a beginner that you need to talk about it in your branding because you're far enough along that you're doing this. You didn't start digital marketing yesterday, so that means you know something that people behind you would pay you to learn if you could shorten their learning curve. And so you need to position yourself as somebody who has some expertise. If you say digital marketing on the rise, you're doing the opposite of that, and you're repelling people away, and you're killing your growth.
Okay, I've got 12 more in the box, so I'm going to go through lightning round. By the way, we can hear Save Your Sons, Skylar. You might have turned him down, by the way. All right, let's go to Dave, Optimize Self 2.0. Nothing in it, like your profile picture doesn't look like somebody. First of all, there's just a lot of things here. I don't understand what Optimize Self means. This is kind of like when Mike Lamb was telling me, I give you the digital blueprint to be creative. I don't know what Optimize Self is. Survive, not thrive. I don't know what any of I don't understand what this is. Like, it does look good. The looks are good. You show me that you understand how to put together a good looking profile, but none of it really clicks to me with what you do. Tweets on productivity, spirituality, and health. Okay, now that makes sense. On a mission to explore high performance living. Nothing here there's no social proof. There's no why. I don't really get it. Save Your Sons. You got comments for Dave?
Yeah, it looks like every other sort of vague self-development, maximize your productivity account. And first off, guys, those have a hard time monetizing, especially through Twitter. It takes more like a YouTube approach to monetize that self-development niche. I'm not saying you can't do it. Just know that going in. And then I'm not getting like a clear benefit from this. So what is the reason people should follow you, Dave? And make that come through loud and clear. What are you adding to their life? How are you improving their life? Be explicit about it. Make them be able to visualize the outcome of what they're getting when they decide to click follow versus this sort of vague, I'm going to make you better, make you perform better. It's not going to grab people in the same way as if you're able to explicitly say, well, how are you helping people? Put that in there.
All right, so here we go. We got the next one. Here is like the 20th email marketer that we've run across today. That it's unbelievable. It's a.
I always say there's no such thing as saturation, but I'm starting to read.
I was literally thinking, like, where are you guys coming from? Is there like an email marketer? I don't understand what's going on. And they all have the same issues. They have like no followers. They show, and like, these are not one of these people would I hire for email marketing. You know who I would hire? If I wanted to hire somebody for email marketing, I would hire George Ten. I would hire Eddie Kwan. I wouldn't hire any of these email marketers, and I don't really know many people who are in the like, I need to hire somebody to farm out email marketers. So again, we play this Joshua game. Adam, thank you for being truthful. As a director of marketing, I would not hire any of these people for email marketing. Me neither. And I am actually looking for somebody to hire. I would keep it myself because anyway. So here's Joshua. We take a look at his profile, name, handle. I have no clue what to. I would think this guy talks about tech or entrepreneurship or something interesting if I were to take a random guess. He looks like a tech guy. Then he talks about email marketing simplified. So I feel like he's gone to like Mark Thompson's page and he's like, oh, I'm going to try to be like Mark Thompson. And then but Mark Thompson, I would hire Mark Thompson because Mark Thompson, I can just read the words on his page and I go, marketing doesn't need to be complicated. Successful marketing in 30 minutes a day. Like this is a guy I would have a lot more trust behind. Like there's no copywriting technique demonstrated in their branding, right? Like, so it doesn't make any sense to me. And he's got like this arrow looking for the follow, helping solopreneurs develop an email strategy that works. What, like yeah, what on earth?
Classic. You don't know you got to know what your target audience wants. Solopreneur. I don't want an email strategy. I don't care about my strategy. I care about my results. I care about the sales I'm making. And everyone else is exactly like me. Nobody wakes up in the morning being like, man, I need a better strategy.
What's that mean?
Wake up in the morning being like, how can I sell as much as possible? So you got to put that in your branding.
So here's Dr. Raphael. It shows us, this is good because he's getting this, where it's like transform your life and body. By the way, life and body that's weaker right there, but it would be stronger if it was transform your body in just 12 weeks with the help. Okay. Now this is something that just has way too much stuff going on. First of all, by the way, this picture, this picture of you looks like you just like woke up out of bed. You rolled out of bed and you snapped a selfie, by the way.
And you got a chunk of ribeye.
Yeah. I get it, man. Like, hey, dude, I like the picture behind you. Got these these beautiful trees behind you. You look like you're living the dream, my man, but there's nothing professional about it. Okay. And then I go to your banner and it's like steak, weights. And you're like, dude, these look, yeah, it's not aesthetic. There's nothing aesthetic about this. Okay. So I go to it. I do like that to transform your body in just 12 weeks, but like the execution on this is it's just poor. Who's got something similar to this? Like here's
the bio is not bad, and I think the banner is funny. It made me laugh, which is good.
Yeah,
it's a good thing, and it didn't make me laugh at him. It made me laugh because it's funny. It's a little too homemade. And so, yeah. Dr. Raphael, I would say take this 20% more seriously, and keep the sense of humor. Like the banner's freaking funny, but you want people to see you as an authority and as a real business.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, I'm going to the next one. This is a picture here. So Mike, okay. So Mike, I'm just going to be straight up with you. I'm going to be Shaq. Last cohort, I said, Mike, you need to find a better profile picture. And here we are 3 months later and the profile picture is the same. And then I got these two profile pictures. Neither of them I think are good. I don't think they're good profile pictures. And I'm going to give you a tip on how to make a better profile picture. What you need to do is you need to go outside, get somebody else to take the picture for you. This isn't like, hey, I'm going to get in front of a camera and in my house and tweak the lighting and try to take a good picture. Use natural light, go outside while the sun is setting, have a nice, beautiful area behind you, some nature. We call it the twilight hour. Snap a photo, or you're going to get something professionally done, set something up. None of these profile pictures are good. And when I just see this, Mike, this is all stuff we talked about last cohort. I have not seen a change here. Yeah, thank you. Save your sons. My man, any final comments? Yeah, talk to you later, buddy. If I just see the profile picture, the name and handle, I don't know what you do. When I look at the banner, I see Mike Lamb. We already know you're Mike Lamb. We saw it in your name, your handle, and your banner. You don't need to tell us for a third time. We know who you are. Principles and frameworks for you to help achieve your biggest goals. Okay, I get that, but I don't understand. There's like no sense of urgency to make this a great brand, Mike. There's no sense of urgency to do a great job. So what I would do is get outside, get somebody to snap a picture of you. This is why you're holding back. This is why you are being held back right now. I'm being straight honest with you. When I see Chase Diamond, email marketing nerd, he has a look at this photo he's got right here using our principles. When I take a look at who else? Joe, Independent You. Good professional photo. Primes people for what I'm going to get in the handle. These are good photos. You need to put in some real work on this one, Mike. I want to see a real improvement. I want to use you as a case study. Okay. All right. Next person. Oh my gosh. This is just so, this is so, yeah. Mike, your number one goal in life is to get Mike, if you do one thing in this cohort, I want you to fix your branding. You will not grow as fast as you need to grow with this. When I see this Ibby right here, Crypto Smarter with this profile picture, the scam alarms like just blow up. Like here's another crypto guy with a Midjourney pic. And then I go to this like confused about crypto. Let me out. Just guys, this is just, it feels tacky. It feels cheesy. Nothing here looks professional. Compare it to and I've already shared his Irrational Investor, Irrational Markets. He's showing you what he build your fortune with stocks. That's a copywriting technique there because he's telling you what everybody wants. Why do people buy stocks? Because they want to build a fortune. So he puts that in his banner. I want that. Followed. Confused about crypto? Let me help you. Why? I'll simplify crypto. Rebuild a 6-figure photo. Okay, yeah, I'm moving on to the next one. It just doesn't feel authentic or real at all. Adam, I'm going to tell you right now, your branding is awful. I cannot put it. This picture looks like something that you took up your phone. This is the same thing with Mike. You are not going to grow unless you are going to fix these mistakes. And I love Adam. I love Mike too. But look. Okay, guys, let's tough love time. I'm going to drop this picture right here. Profile picture, name and handle. What do you guys think Adam tweets about? What do you guys think Adam tweets about? I have no clue. Honest? Yeah, what's he tweet about? Okay, I already asked you to be honest. Drinking. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Travel, soccer, no idea. Personal stuff. His travel experience, like an Instagram. His thoughts. Adam tweets about marketing. Now, I'm going to be honest. If you have a brand that's put together like that, and I see that you tweet about marketing, it's like the exact opposite of what I thought. The last thing I would have thought is this account talks about marketing. Compare you to Data Feels. Everybody in here, who do you think knows? Just look at them. Who do you think knows more about marketing, Adam or Della? Put it in the chat. Just look at them. They talk about the exact same. Della. Every single person's going to say the same thing. Because what your problem is here, Adam, is that you're telling people, not showing people. Della knows marketing. So she spent time getting the best profile picture that she could get for herself. And then there's a level of trust there. Oh, this person looks like they know what they're talking about. Like this is, it matters. All of these things matters. These high quality photos, all of this matters. I'm telling you now, if you chintz with anything when it comes to branding, you're signaling to your audience that you really don't care about them. That's what you're signaling. Well, it really wasn't that important. This page wasn't really that important putting it together because, man, if I really cared, I would have done it. Right. All right. Okay, cool. It's all about this tough love. Tim, guys, I'm asking for a screenshot of your account. If I don't see a screenshot, I just move on to the next account. I'm just telling you, some people are like sending me, I want a link and a screenshot. That's what I've asked for. Raul, data engineer. Raul, my man. This is just like logos, generic stuff. I don't know why any of this stuff is here. I see this and I'm like, I'm out. A Microsoft certified data engineer. No. Compare this to nobody cares about your credentials like that right there. Like it's people repellent. It doesn't look good. They're out. Compare this to a David Nunez, right? It's kind of like a data engineer. He looks like it. He transports you into the space. I teach you how to clear your data engineer certification in 4 weeks. I'm going to be honest with you. There's hardly anyone on Twitter that's interested in that. Like 0.000. Yeah, that's more for LinkedIn. Yeah, this looks like a LinkedIn profile of our. What is it that your audience who is a data engineer certificate, what is it that they want to talk about? What are they interested in? That's what you're going to tweet about. Microsoft is dead in Twitter. I don't know. Yeah. Raul, I would make sure that you watch our branding lesson videos ASAP on this. All right. I want to make sure I get to every single, I don't see screenshots. There's like 4 or 5 people that have sent me pictures of their profiles and like not send me pictures. They just send me links. I want a picture of your profile and a link to your profile. This is Skylar. Skylar, what's up with these like pictures? I don't understand. This is another thing I don't understand. So it's like, you've got this picture. Why is it that you've got a picture of yourself? It looks like you're driving in your car here. Pretty sure like months ago, I was like, Skylar, this is like Mike. I was like, Skylar, you need to go out there and get a picture of yourself. And I was like, you need to, and nothing's changed. Why do you have a Renaissance banner in your profile? It doesn't fit your branding. Get purpose, get lean, get the girl. Guys, here's a picture of Skylar with his name and his handle. What do you all think he tweets about? I have no clue. It looks like somebody's personal account. Red says, I don't want to say. Partying. Yeah, it does. I like how you guys are all honest with each other here. Partying. Fast and Furious. No idea. And then you go and you see a banner of none of this makes any sense. I'm so lost right now. Hero's journey, masculinity, this is something Skylar, I don't even know what to say. Like it looks like your branding's taken a giant step back. But you haven't had a recent picture of yourself done in a while. And I've been mentioning like again and again and again, you are in a competition with hundreds of thousands of other people and you need to be able to capture and get their attention. Like let's take a look at, here's another account that talks about masculinity, right? This is Nolan Knows, Will Noland. He looks like look, that dude's neck is bigger than his head. He looks like somebody that's a guy that talks about masculinity. I could just see that guy on the Twitter profile. I was like, that's the guy that talks about masculinity. You need to get a better picture ASAP, and then you need to start deciding what you're going to tweet about because I think it's all over the place. All right, the Renaissance man. I would remove the nudity from the Da Vinci. That's hot. I would remove it because, I have heard that when you post nudity, even when it's in paintings, that there's some kind of like trigger in the algo. Now you've got like this. This is cool. Renaissance man, Renaissance tips. This could grow very quickly. You've kind of got like this like new vibe, this like synthwave vibe with it. Maybe you ought to like blend that into your branding for the banner. I think that would be really interesting. Like take a look at this. Like take a look at Rewire the West, right? He's been in our cohorts before. Now he sticks with and I got to get going soon, guys. He sticks with painting upon painting. You see how the two go together? Painting in the picture, painting in the banner. This is why the Skylar thing doesn't make any sense, because he's got like this picture of him in the car and then a picture of a painting in the banner. You see how this all goes together for Rewire? It makes sense. You would expect the guy who has a painting as a profile picture to have kind of like this painting in the banner. So maybe keep that synthwave vibes. So it's aesthetically pleasing, right? It matches styles, but it's not the same thing at the same time. You see what I'm saying? It rhymes with each other. Visually rhymes. Helping you live meaningful life through the pursuit of beauty, truth, and virtue. Start your journey below. So like take a look at that. Courtier, soldier, and scholar. But you don't really, nothing's personal. I don't know what that is. From the Quattro, I'm gonna have to Google that. All of it's really vague. Everything you need is within. Avoid these platitude alert. Everything you need is within. What? There's no real social proof here. Cost of Glory's bio is great. One of the best. I quit academia. I left academia behind to teach you. What value is that? It's unbelievable. He risked it all. That's copywriting right there. All right, Alvaro. Ooh, tech is your friend. Health. Okay, again, it feels kind of low effort here with this. Go hard. Yeah, tech is your friend. Like, and then we have this like picture of the tech bot. I don't get it. Like maybe you could have like 100 robots all together in like this like visually like play. Like it could be so much more interesting, right? Like 1 million robots, right? By the way, this profile picture, your name and your handle don't tell us anything. Alvaro, the Alvaro. Who is this guy? This is not good. Underscore. Maybe can you remove the underscore? Or the Alvaro Tech? Or at the Alvaro Tech? Can you prime us that you are talking about tech? This could be so much more creative and so much more interesting, but it's not paying attention to the details. Tech is your friend. A bazillion robots with Alvaro fighting them in the Matrix, making them be your friend. Taming tech. AI Tech Accelerator, Chaos Averse, building a 6-figure subscription biz, leveraging 15 years of experience. Maybe explain what that experience is. Tweeting tech, like we get it. It's really repetitive. Tweeting tech and AI growth hacks. We got that in the bio or the banner. And we can kind of infer that. All right, here's Kay. I don't know if I would have Jesus on the cross as my banner, as my profile picture. And then so some people might feel as though it's just a little over the top. And, you know, I get where you're coming from, and you're probably coming from a right place. But there's some people that might be offended by it. I'm just telling you what they might think. Unleash masculinity, growth, relationships. Well, we understand that you talk about masculinity because we see it in your name and it's in the bio. You don't have to put that as one of the growth. What is growth? Relationships. This is vague. Teaching men what I wish my father taught me. It sounds like you're dunking on your father too. Oh man, I have to say this is kind of like a pet peeve of mine. If you may have noticed that I've actually tweeted about this, and I know that you're probably not doing this, but oh man, like I always tweet about